Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Ronald Tan from KK Children's Emergency. It's a privilege to share our experience with you today. At the start of this session, it is timely to remind ourselves that the best treatment for injury is prevention rather than cure. Now, in real life, this is easier said than done, as parents often don't see the importance of prevention until the injury has happened. Let's have a look at one such case. Focus your attention on the top right corner. Wow, that was a close shave, wasn't it? This baby was fortunate to have his brother there. And consider how this was 100% preventable if mum had not turned her back, even for a few seconds. And that's why we shouldn't leave things to chance. Over a 10-year period, there were almost 1,000 severe injuries and 37 deaths from unintentional injuries. The top three causes of which, no surprise, are road traffic accidents, falls from height, and drowning. And these may not have happened or the injury lessened if there were preventive steps taken. What's more, the kids who don't make it are just the tip of the iceberg. Worldwide, for every one child, there are 6,000 more who have non-fatal injuries, some of which have permanent, lifelong disabilities. From January of 2012 to June of 2016, close to 120,000 kids were brought to KK Children's Emergency for minor injuries, and that is an average of 73 per day. Why did these happen? Well, 92% of them were unintentional. Where, you may ask, did they happen? 48%, almost half, occurred at home, 20% in school or childcare, and 10% in playgrounds. Now let's have a look at some of these common unintentional injuries and how you can prevent them in the first place. The first of these are falls, which make up over 1/3 of all unintentional injuries. And why are kids at greater risk of injury? Because of their size and also because they lack a perception of hazards in their environment. For example, I saw a trauma code where a child ran onto a piece of canvas covering a hole and fell from the 8th story straight to the ground floor. So of course, this was a massive polytrauma, and it was a miracle that the child survived. And so they can fall easily from bicycles, e-scooters, playground equipment, sarong cradles, what have you. And they will get a range of injuries, such as fractures, lacerations, head injuries. One child I recall that I admitted to neurosurgery after a fall from a double-decker bed had an intracranial bleed or bleeding in the brain. And bear in mind, these are just the treatable injuries. For kids who fall out of windows, they are oftentimes beyond all help. And so, on that sobering note, which is the best way to prevent falls at home? Can we have quiz number 1, please? I'll just give everyone a moment to put in your answer, which you think is the best answer. Okay. So we can see that the overwhelming majority of people have selected install grills on the flat and condominium windows. Okay. Right, there we go. I think we can end the quiz now. And so here we go. Let's go through the results of this quiz. So don't leave kids unsupervised like in the video we saw just now. Take great care where you place furniture. Don't put chairs or cabinets next to the windows. And install grills on your windows if you stay in a high-rise building. Look at this chap standing in the cot next to the window with no grills. That is just waiting for it to happen. And stairs without gates, what will happen is kids will fall down the stairs or walkers will roll down the stairs. So you get the idea. How about playgrounds? Well, firstly, do not leave the children unsupervised. You should check equipment with their loose screws or rusty bolts. Avoid overcrowded playgrounds where kids will push each other when they are playing. And use age-appropriate equipment. That is, little kids shouldn't be using workout equipment meant for adults. And the opposite is also true. Big kids shouldn't be playing in baby swings either. Monkey bars, as the name suggests, they are reserved for monkeys only. I have seen many fractures in both big and small children who have fallen from monkey bars. Let's go on to drowning, another preventable injury, and those who survive may suffer serious complications, such as permanent brain damage. Most drowning incidents, in fact, occur at private pools, such as in condos, at pool parties when there are plenty of adults around. Some of them also occur at home, in bathtubs and pails. The danger is actually that of being complacent, for this can happen to any of our children anywhere. How then do we prevent drowning? So time for our next quiz. Again, everyone just take a moment to put in your answers. Choose the best answer of the three. Yeah, so again, we can see that there's an overwhelming majority who have chosen constant adult supervision. And a few others chose some of the other answers. And so, yes, the best thing that we can do is 100% adult supervision, that is constant eye contact with your child when swimming and during bath time. At parties, there should be a designated pool watcher. That means that person should not be reading books or being distracted by your phone, because it just takes a minute or even a second for you to turn your attention away, and then the child will go underwater. Yes, we can use flotation devices. Just bear in mind that this is not a substitute or replacement for adult supervision. Know where to find help with a lifeguard, lifebuoy, or the first aid kits. Teach your children to swim only in designated areas. That means age-appropriate swimming pools, not ponds or the sea. An appropriate water level is important. That is, feet on the floor, water not above chest level. And at home, empty all the unused pails, keep your toilet seat cover down, drain the bathtub away immediately after bath time, because children can drown in as little as 5 cm of water. Finally, encourage your family and friends to learn CPR, because it can save a family member's life if an accident does happen. And the SCDF website is a good source of information. Let's go on to road traffic accidents. We see about 400 to 500 road traffic accidents a year, and they involve kids as pedestrians, car passengers, or cyclists. Have a look. This is a common sight in Singapore. Kids sitting on the parents' lap, either in the front seat or just moving around freely in the back of the car. And actually, this is a really dangerous thing to do. Let's compare what happens in an accident when one child is in a car seat and the other is just moving around freely. That's scary, isn't it? So note that an adult seatbelt is not a substitute for a proper car seat, because it is not meant to safely restrain a young child in the event of an accident. Let's have a look at one more video. Here you can see how this child car seat saved the little baby from severe injury. If the baby was in the room, he would have been crushed against the front seat. The point is that the mother herself should have been wearing a seatbelt. So when it comes to keeping your child safe in the car, it's not just about using a child car seat. It is also important to choose the right child car seat based on your child's age and size. And so this infographic from the KKH website shows how to select the right seat for your child's age group. If you're not taking your own car and you're taking a Grab taxi, you can also ask for a Grab family car that comes with a car seat for children aged 1 year and above. For newborn babies and infants, you can consider car seats like this, which can be converted into a pram. And even if you don't have a car, at some point, you will still have your child with you in a taxi or your parents' or friend's car. When your child grows older, you may be tempted to transition from a car seat straight to the adult seat belt and just bypass the booster seat. However, remember that incorrect belting can still cause severe internal injuries. According to the traffic police, a child is ready to graduate from a booster seat only when the height is more than 1.35 meters tall. The child is ready to use a seatbelt on its own if the lap belt goes across the hips, not the stomach. In fact, I have seen a small child in a road traffic accident with a bruise from an adult seatbelt, the so-called seatbelt sign. And this child eventually had rupture of the intestines and needed surgery. Also bear in mind that children should not sit in the front seats of the car due to danger from the airbags, because a child placed in front of an airbag may be severely injured or even suffocated by the impact of the rapidly inflating airbag. Nowadays, cars have many advanced safety features, and just remember that they will be of no use if your children are unbelted and just running around the car. Putting all these together, we have a fantastic car seat safety infographic at the KKH taxi stand. So next time you're in the area, do stop by and check it out. Coming to road traffic accidents involving children as pedestrians. Children are more prone to injury. And why? Because they are small in size, unable to judge accurately how fast the traffic is moving. Their field of vision is less than that of adults, and they don't recognize or react to danger as well. So when it comes to road safety, parents need to be role models of good habits. That is, teach your children about road safety. If they walk to school, walk with them until you know that you have identified the best places to walk, cross, and look out for blind spots. Tell and show your children where are the hazards on roads. Go down to their level and see what the hazards are. And importantly, do not jaywalk, because your child will copy you. Instead, use the pedestrian crossings or overhead bridges. I have seen this dash cam footage where the dad jaywalked across the road. So being an adult, he crossed the road, and then next thing you know, the child followed, and boom, the car hit the child. The child was flung 5 meters away. Of course, the child had to be admitted to hospital. So to our next quiz, last one for today. Which is the best way to ensure bicycle safety for children? Again, just take a moment, put in your answer. All right, I think we do have a majority. So most people have selected wear a bicycle helmet at all times. That's correct. So for bike safety, and this includes especially e-scooters, it is very important to wear proper safety gear, such as helmets at all times, because you never know when something will happen. Stay visible, wear light colors, and use lights and reflectors. Don't carry a pillion rider, especially bigger children, as their legs may get caught in the wheels. Cycle with, not against, the flow of traffic. Don't cycle on expressways, follow the traffic signals. And very important, make sure that your headlights, the brakes are working properly before you set off, and use bike lanes or bike paths if they are available. Right, now we come to home, where half of the minor injuries occur, and these include things like burns, choking, suffocation, as well as some of those we mentioned earlier, such as falls and drowning. And we believe our homes to be very safe. And at the same time, many unintentional injuries will happen if we don't take preventive measures. Remember that the adult perspective is very different from that of a child. So we should go down to the level and see what sort of hidden dangers there are. For example, electrical sockets, pebbles in plants, rat poison under the cupboard, small beads that soak up water and expand. The list goes on. All these things will just go straight in the mouth. And all of us will buy toys for our kids, and it's important that they have age-appropriate toys, especially when you have more than one child. Remember, your older child may be playing with toys with many small parts, and these are choking hazards for your infants who should be playing with large single-piece toys. Also, electronic toys have batteries, like button batteries, which are shiny, attractive to young kids, and they go straight in the mouth. They can cause serious chemical burns, as this sausage shows. Therefore, make sure that battery compartments are sealed to prevent unintentional ingestion. Now that we've gone through some of the common injuries that can happen in children, let's go through the different dangers that your child may be at risk of during their different developmental stages as they grow up. From birth to 5 months old, keeping your child safe includes preventing suffocation. So ensure that bolsters, pillows, blankets, plastic bags are kept away from baby. Don't share beds to avoid rolling onto and suffocating the baby. And the ABCs of sleep safety. Place baby to sleep alone on his back in a cot, and do not use sarong cradles. Once your baby starts to roll over from about 6 months onwards, do not leave the baby on the cot without the sides up. Many of our patients come in having fallen from the bed, and they have to be monitored for head injuries. Really, this can be prevented. Preventing scalds. Put the cold water in the bathtub first, then followed by the hot water, and you can check the temperature with your elbow first. Drowning prevention. Never leave the baby alone or unattended in the bathtub, even with bath seats, because they give a false sense of security. Even suction cups can come undone. And car safety. Again, ensure that baby is safely buckled up in an age-appropriate, rear-facing child car seat in the back of the car. And remember, never to leave baby alone in the car. Growing up from 6 to 12 months, that's when children start to explore on their hands and feet and put everything in their mouths. So at this age, we should prevent choking, ensure that small toy parts and other choking hazards are kept out of the child's reach. Preventing falls. Don't let the child use a baby walker, and never leave the child alone in a high chair. Sleep safety, this remains important. And preventing scalds. Keep hot food and drinks out of the child's reach. Use table mats instead of tablecloths. If parents are carrying your child, don't carry hot drinks at the same time, right? Because the child will grab the cup and then the hot drink will go all over. Remember that water doesn't have to be boiling in order to cause severe burns. And drowning prevention. Don't store pails of water in the bathroom, because if the baby crawls in and falls face in, sometimes you wouldn't even hear. And car safety precautions are the same. From 1 year to 18 months, that's when children eat more whole foods and start to walk around independently. So to prevent choking, don't give them food such as whole fish balls, whole grapes and peanuts. And remember to keep small choking hazards away. Preventing falls within and outside of the house. Electrical cables, make sure you secure them to prevent tripping. Keep the floors dry, limit access to stairs by using a safety gate, and keep your window grills locked, right? If you have window grills, but they are unlocked, sometimes that's just as good as not having them. Preventing burns. Turn off and put away irons once you've finished with them, and keep your children away from the kitchen. Preventing drowning. Supervise children at all times near the water, whether it's at the pool or the seaside or at the bathtub. And car safety measures remain the same. So not to worry if you can't remember everything, because if you just have a look at your child's health booklet, there is a safety checklist and information is divided up into all the respective age groups. Here are some KKH child safety resources that you can explore, and these include the KKH child safety videos on YouTube. We will show in a short while. And so the take-home message from today is prevention is always a cure. Therefore, don't hesitate to spread this important message to your families and friends. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Now, the KKH Child Safety video.
Children are curious by nature. Bumps, bruises, scrapes, and scratches are common, especially when children grow and explore their surroundings. In our home environment, we want to let our kids explore, learn, and have fun while at the same time protect them from harm. Common injuries at home are preventable, and we all have a role to play in keeping our children safe.
At the emergency department at KK Hospital, more than 100 children are brought in every day for unintentional injuries, and more than half these injuries occur within the home. So parents and caregivers need to take extra precaution to child-proof their homes as they allow their children to grow, explore, and develop within the home environment. We are also seeing an increasing number of children who are losing their lives through drowning, road traffic accidents, as well as falls from height. So we must be very sure that we take extra precaution to make sure that our children grow up in a safe environment.
When traveling with a child, use a booster or car seat that is age appropriate. Install your car seat properly according to the manufacturer's instructions. Buckle up for every ride. And never leave your child alone in a vehicle. You can use the following tips to ensure that your home is a safe place for your child. Install proper window grills and safety gates to prevent young children from climbing up, losing their balance and falling. Ensure that gates are locked at all times. During bath times and water play, you can have fun and yet keep the experience safe. Actively supervise your child. Never leave your child unattended even for a minute. Avoid any kind of distractions, including reading or talking on the phone. Drain the tub immediately after bath time and keep toilet lids and bathroom doors closed to prevent drowning. In the kitchen, do not carry a child while cooking. It is better to put your child in a high chair where you can see them. To prevent scalding or spills, use the back burner of the stove and turn pot handles away from the edge. Keep hot foods and liquids away from the edge of tables. Unplug and safely store appliances that heat up quickly, such as iron or hairdryer after use. The best thing to do is to keep small electronics or devices that use button batteries out of reach of young children. If you know that your child is still able to access them, secure the battery-controlled devices and always supervise them during play. Ingestion of household products and liquids can have adverse health effects on children. Put all medicines out of reach of children after every use. Young kids are often at eye level with items under kitchen and bathroom sinks. Store all household products and cleaning solutions out of children's sight and reach. All parents want their kids to have fun and grow up healthy and happy. With small steps to child-proof your environment, every accident is preventable. Everyone can play a part to keep our children happy, active, and safe.